everybody, Joe Haygood here from GGS Gamer, and we are going to be playing some Broken Sword 5. This is a start from the beginning, and we'll see if my memory serves me right from the PC version as to how smart I am at remembering puzzles. Oops, sorry there. Also, let me know if you have any questions. I'm streaming this as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot. If you're unfamiliar with the Broken Sword franchise, which may be a possibility, for Xbox gamers, Broken Sword 3 might have been on original Xbox and PS2. Not quite certain of my memory if it's serving me correctly. I seem to think it was, because it definitely was the first one to have a lot more gamepad controller styled items. But the idea with these is that it's very puzzle-esque adventure games. It's a long-running series. It's been running since the late.
Yeah, go with your mother to the trap.
Or not late. Well, yeah, late 90s.
It will always be your guide.
And they've always been real good with solid
shortly.
puzzle mechanics and interesting storylines, taking things that are from history, but kind of repurposing them to fit their own story. Very similar to the way Assassin's Creed will do that kind of stuff.
This way.
Oh, shots fired.
Signora, it is too late. Go.
No, Papa!
Senor, in here.
Search them. Of course.
And as with
Paris
all
in the
Broken
spring.
Sword games, they
Passion,
tend to
romance.
focus on two
L'amour.
particular characters.
I was working in art insurance. It paid the rent, just about. And then, by chance,
George,
I met Nico at a private view.
blonde on the right,
You didn't tell
and
me
Nico
that you were
Colette,
back in Paris,
the
George.
reporter,
We should
black
catch
hair
up.
on the left.
Let's
here.
have lunch.
Nobody move.
Non, monsieur, not la malédiction.
Oh, pop, pop.
Stay back.
Once again, Paris had shown me her dark side. A brutal robbery, a senseless murder. Nico and I were about to be drawn into a new and terrifying adventure together. The gallery owner was dead. I guess sometimes playing the hero doesn't pay. My company had insured the exhibition, so I had a crime to solve. The cops would be here soon.
Alright.
I didn't have much time. Poor guy.
Let's see.
The door was locked with a keypad. The wires from the camera ran into the room behind. It must have captured the whole robbery. If I could get the code to the keypad, I might be able to shed some light on the crime.
Okay. What's my inventory? I have a phone. Let's try calling Nico. She's not going to answer, I don't think.
Nico wasn't answering her phone. No surprise. Poor guy. The priest was giving last rites to the gallery owner. I didn't want to interfere.
Alright, well, let's talk to the priest.
Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
I'm George Stobart. My company insured the exhibition.
George Stobart.
My name is Simeon.
Is there anything I can do?
You can pray for his soul.
A senseless murder.
On the contrary, this killing makes plenty of sense.
What do you mean?
A great evil has taken place. This is the work of the devil.
What?
I am a Dominican
I don't know if
priest.
that's the case.
I know these things. And now, excuse me, I must pray.
1 minute, I'd been planning dinner with Nico. The next, I was talking art theft, murder, and the devil with a priest.
Let's investigate.
Poor guy. There was no way anyone would have survived that. In Henri's pocket was a tiny bottle. It was a bottle of Brett. The label claimed it would wake
the beast within.
There was a small piece of paper in the dead man's hand. It was too intriguing not to take a look. It read, 2:30 p.m., be ready. Innocent enough, until I realized that the robbery took place at 2:30 p.m.
Huh.
There was something fishy going on around here, and it wasn't just the canapes. I quickly replaced the note. He definitely looked better. A cryptic note in a bottle of overpowering cologne. No personal effects or anything else of substance. I definitely needed to check out that office.
Well, yeah, duh. We gotta figure out how to get in the office. Let's take a look at what we got.
The stolen painting had hung. Why that painting? And why kill for it? The stolen painting had an alarm, which should have sounded when the painting was removed. I needed to find out why it hadn't. So that was why the alarm hadn't sounded. A wire had been cut by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. This was an inside job.
That it was. Let's go back to that.
It was the speaker cone for the alarm. It hadn't sounded when the painting was stolen.
Huh.
The pressure pad appeared to be working fine, but the cut wire had ensured that the alarm wouldn't sound when the painting was removed. The pressure pad appeared to be working fine.
Okay.
But the cut wire had ensured that the alarm wouldn't sound when the painting was removed. The stolen painting was called La Malediccio, painted by someone called L. Serp in 1937, and worth just 40 grand.
Interesting. So we have a painting that was worth 40 grand, a sabotaged alarm sensor.
The label said it was painted in 1932. The gallery wanted 80 grand for it. That painting was worth way more than the stolen one. So why didn't they take that?
Oh, there you go. That's the question to ask.
The alarm on that painting hadn't been sabotaged. So what made La Maledizio so special? Another painting with a working alarm.
Interesting.
Just 90,000 for this.
So we have sabotaged alarms. We have paintings that are worth a whole lot of money.
The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private.
We already know the office door is locked, so that doesn't do us any good.
The thief left the pizza box behind. I wondered what was in it. Well, no surprise there. Pizza. The guy must have been hungry. There was only one slice left.
Well, as we have always come to find out, we take pizza.
No one had noticed the pizza box fall onto the floor. I decided to leave it alone.
George loves to make a mess.
It was Hector Lane, France's greatest art critic. We'd met before. It hadn't ended well. For a moment, I thought he was dead. But from the snoring, I guessed he'd only fainted. In the pocket was a pair of nail
Take
clippers.
those.
They were monogrammed with the letters HL. Lane was out cold. I was going to need something to bring him around.
Well,
Time to awaken the beast. What?
What was that? It smells like the 70s. Where am I?
You fainted.
of course he did.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
I wouldn't exactly call this living. Don't just stand there. Get me something to eat. I've had a terrible shock, you know.
Well, that's not a stereotype, is it? Well, like I said, we knew we were going to need the pizza at some point.
I found a slice of pizza.
I asked for food, boy, not a cardboard simulacrum.
Oh, okay, if you don't want it.
I didn't say that. Now give it here. Given the circumstances, that was surprisingly acceptable. Now, what's been going on? Oh, Henri, is he
Dead? Afraid so.
poor chap? Just like him to steal the limelight, though.
Let's talk to the
Excuse me.
man.
Do I know you?
Yes, our paths have crossed in the Glees Gallery.
Of course, the man with the absinthe. I don't suppose you...
Afraid not.
Pity. I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble remembering your name.
This
I'm
guy's a
George
snobby little
Stobart.
bastard.
I insured the exhibition.
I hope you have deep pockets then, my boy.
Could I ask you a few questions, Mr. Lane?
Fire away.
Let's ask him
Did
about
you know the gallery
Henri.
owner?
Of course, we worked together on the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Henri provided the space. I was the creative powerhouse.
How long had you known him?
As a friend, many years. Our professional relationship had only recently blossomed into this exhibition, under my curatorial wing. And now the poor fellow's gone and got himself killed.
If Lane was involved with the gallery, then he had to know the code to that door. Do you know anything about the stolen painting?
Of course, dear boy. La Maledictio, a little-known work, turned up at the last minute.
What about the
Something
killer?
don't seem
Were
right,
you able
does
to
it?
get a look at him?
Why
But
is
the
the dead
link
guy...
in a tin
How did the
hat.
dead guy know he was
Beyond
going to get
that,
shot?
I don't really
Or
recall.
that something was going to happen?
Oh, yeah, you fainted.
Those of us with a higher aesthetic are more sensitive to violence.
So you curated the exhibition? What's it about?
A brilliant retrospective. A dialectical window on European art's ongoing discourse with the unresolved psychoses of the nation-state.
Wow, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Okay.
So you help run this place? Maybe you can give me the code to that door.
The code to the office?
I just
Yeah.
thought you might have the number.
I do, but I couldn't possibly give you access before the police arrive.
I figured I wasn't going to get the door code from Lane by playing nice. I needed to turn the heat up. Mr. Lane, you're really going to have to give me the code to that door.
And why, pray, should I do that?
Because the way the cops will see it, you're the prime suspect. We both know you're innocent, Mr. Lane, but the cops, well, they may not see things so simply. I might be able to get them off your case, but in exchange, I'd like the code for the office door.
But that's preposterous. The police would have neither evidence nor motive.
Funny you should mention that. Are these your nail clippers, Mr. Lane?
Yes, they have my initials monogrammed on them.
The perfect implement for cutting the alarm on the stolen painting.
What are you saying?
Well, the alarm was sabotaged, Mr. Lane. It was an inside job.
Are you accusing me? How dare you? I had no reason to kill Henri, no motive whatsoever.
Okay, but I don't think the cops will see it like that. And I sure would like that door code. Well, you got to admit, the cut wire doesn't look good for you.
As I said, this is a preposterous allegation.
An unusual painting turns up at your exhibition and gets stolen. Doesn't look good, does it?
And your point is?
The cops are going to ask some awkward questions. But you give me the code to the CCTV room, and I'll do my best to point them elsewhere.
I cannot let you into that room, Mr. Stobart. Besides, Henri found La Maledictio, not me. I had nothing to do with it.
Oh.
This is an inside job for sure, Mr. Lane. The police are going to be very interested in your recent movements.
I've been out of town for several days, and last night I retired early.
Just saying.
I think he might
You're not
be
going to
giving
scare
us
me into giving you that door code, you know.
bogus information.
I was onto something here, and I knew it. Lane was sweating. It wasn't pretty. How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
Alright. Let's see if we can find anything outside that might point us in his direction. This
Street
guy's
is quiet
dirty.
and upmarket. Not the kind of place for an opportunist thief. From out here, you couldn't see the stolen painting. This robbery was definitely planned.
guy's dirty. But we gotta... let's talk to this guy. See what he has to say.
Excuse me.
Monsieur?
There's just been a robbery at the gallery.
Oh, really?
You don't sound surprised.
This guy sounds so
All property
enthusiastic.
is theft, monsieur. And all art is property. Therefore, all art is theft. Do you not agree?
Well, when you put it like that, it's
Oh,
hard not to.
art is so blah blah blah.
Did you see anybody run out of the gallery earlier?
There was a beautiful woman with a camera. She was chasing somebody.
Oh, that must have been Nico.
You know her? You surprised me.
Can you tell me anything about the
This
man?
guy
she's
is
chasing?
so
I assume, monsieur,
unenthusiastic,
that like
I
all
guess
of
is the
us,
best
he
way to
is
put it.
inherently unknowable.
No wonder this guy's cafe was empty. The gallery owner, Henri, was shot dead trying to stop the robbery.
Life has no meaning the moment you lose the illusion of being eternal.
Right. Did you know him well?
Can we ever truly know another human being, monsieur?
Oh my
He
goodness.
spent little time at the cafe, unlike his friend, Monsieur Lane.
What do you know about Le Lizard Bleu?
It's bourgeois, vacuous, and overpriced. Just like its curator, Lane. He's always in here, you know, talking art to his latest flusée.
What do you know about Hector Lane?
Lane? Oh, yes. He drinks here sometimes. He slid away last night without paying.
Last night?
Ah.
After midnight, for sure. If you see him, give him this bill. And tell him to pay up next time.
I do like the art style in this game.
Check
So
was from last night.
yeah, I was
Lane
gonna
told
say
me
he
he
said
was
he
nowhere
wasn't
near.
around.
This could
We
be
have
the
a
leverage
bill
I
that
needed
puts
to
him
get
right
the
next
office
door to
code
the scene of the
Lane.
crime, don't we? Alright, well let's
Thank
go
you for your consistent indifference, monsieur.
Perhaps next time you come, I will give you a coffee. Perhaps not.
such an ass. Alright, let's go confront this guy with the evidence that we have now that basically says he was here. He says he's been out of town.
How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of mail
Oh,
clippers.
well, maybe I
I've
have to
been away
confront him
from
with the
Paris for
evidence
several
and show it to
days
him
and
directly.
only got back
Maybe
this
it'll come
morning.
up in a conversation
How
option.
could I have cut that wire?
The interfaces could use a little work.
Take
There
a look
we
at
go.
this.
What of it?
It's your bill from the cafe next door.
So?
It's dated yesterday. Last night, in fact. 12:30 to be exact. You said you were out of town. You sure drank a lot of champagne last night without paying the bill. But you told me that you were away from Paris last night. I hate to say it, but that sounds like a lie to me. Tell you what, you give me the code to the door, and the police need never know. A motive and proof of involvement. Not looking good, Mr. Lane.
You are a blackmailer, Stobart.
Just doing my job.
All right. You have me. The number is 6397. But I admit to none of
6397.
these spurious accusations.
I had to
Alright, that'll
The police
work.
would be here any moment, so I had to work fast. What was that number again? 642. No.
6397.
hold it right there.
Damn it.
I am Inspector Navet of the Paris Serious Crime Squad, and I hereby declare this crime scene open. Closed. Now, nobody move, especially you on the floor. Moo, I want a total lockdown. Nobody
Are we
in
going
or
for an
out.
Inspector Clouseau
Apart
type
from me, of course.
person here? Seems like it, doesn't it?
I needed to get back into the gallery, but a familiar figure was guarding the door. It was Sergeant Moo. Our paths had crossed before.
Yeah, this guy is always a problem. A Verboten sword game.
Sergeant Moo, we meet again.
Aha, Madame Collard. An unexpected pleasure.
I was in the gallery at the time of the theft. Can I get back in?
I am sorry, but I am under strict orders from Inspector Navet. Nobody in, nobody out. And I must correct you, madame. It is no longer just a theft. It is a murder.
It is a
Mon
murder.
Dieu! That poor man!
I do like the fact they
witnessed the
definitely
crime.
got the
I've got
original
to get
voice
back in
actors
there.
for Nico and George.
I'm sure you can make
you
an
know, from
official
the
statement
previous
in good time.
I saw the thief. I think I can help
Broken
the
Sword games.
investigation.
That's always nice.
I am implacable, Madame Collard.
Who
Let's
is Inspector
see.
Navet?
The most promising young investigator on the force. A genius. A man blessed with almost
Except for the fact that the guy is
superhuman
completely
insight.
incompetent.
He sounds highly perspicacious.
Madame, it is not for us to talk about the inspector's sweaty proclivities. He is about to solve his third case in as many days.
So, what's he got that the other investigators don't have?
Blood spatter. He is the world expert. He reads the entrails of the crime scene like a book.
Oh, I gotta move my leg.
I really need to get into the gallery and speak to Inspector Navet.
Tut tut. He is not to be disturbed. He is
Hello,
applying
new viewers.
his famous scientific methods. Any moment now, the case will be cracked. I certainly hope so.
Okay.
I am dog-tired and want to go home.
I chased
thief.
after the shooter and got a photo of him.
Inspector
He's
Navet will
wearing
be
a
delighted.
helmet, though.
You've got to let me into the gallery to show him.
Absolutely
That's the
not.
problem. The guy was wearing a helmet. The photo
So,
isn't gonna do
I
much.
cannot go in without Inspector Navet's permission?
No.
And to get Inspector Navet's permission, I need to go in.
See?
Exactement.
Have you ever heard
Oh,
of
my
Kafka,
goodness.
Sergeant Moo?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
Oh, jeez.
No, he's a... Never
This
mind.
guy.
This was madness.
This
Sergeant
guy is a
Moo wasn't
problem.
going to let me in.
Let's
so
see.
tired, Sergeant Moo.
I have been working for 3 days with no rest. Navet is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we all have his energy and vigor.
Oh, you poor man. If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for you.
That's very thoughtful of you. Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme
This guy.
never leaves his post.
Well, how about a hot drink?
Ah, that would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, I mustn't drink on duty. My doctor specifically warned me against it after the last incident.
That incident you mentioned, what happened exactly?
I don't want to talk about it.
Huh.
All I can say is it was very unfortunate. I am on duty, and I need to focus.
If anyone has any questions about the game, feel free to let me know.
Here's my
I'll
press card.
answer as
Do
best
you
I
have a
can.
statement for the paper?
Yes, madame. Stay away from the crime scene and let the police do their job.
I know my connection isn't
And
the
always
best as
leave a
well.
light
I'm
on when you
working on
go
trying to
out
get a
at
better
night.
upload pipe.
Thanks a lot,
Unfortunately,
Sergeant Moo.
the
You've been
complex
so
I live in,
helpful.
they're still doing work to expand the bandwidth, so... Well, let's go back and talk to our favorite waiter, shall we? our most enthusiastic waiter. Ugh. This guy is a problem.
Monsieur,
Life is fleeting, madame. The sands of time are running through your fingers.
well, that may be, but
We know not what we want, and yet we are responsible for what we are.
there's been a crime.
That is terrible, madame. But you know what they say.
No, but I think you're going to tell me.
Life begins on the other side of despair. C'est vrai, no?
What is it with
Well,
the
I guess
riddles in
so.
this guy?
He was pushing me to the point of despair.
He cracks me
During
up.
the riots, we battled the forces of oppression.
Oh, really? That must have been terrifying.
It was. Except that they made me stay behind the barricades with the other baristas. We made coffee by the liter to fuel the resistance. I've never brewed so much coffee. Of course, our brave heroes spent half their time going for a pee. But with our coffee inside them, they fought the running dogs all night long.
None of this was helping me get past Sergeant Mou.
Au revoir.
Let's see.
Monsieur,
This
The road
guy's
to
gotta have
enlightenment
something
is
I
a
can
long
give
one,
that
madame.
guy.
Perhaps you will walk that road with me.
I mean, that's the way
Au
I
revoir.
would think, is that he's gotta have something that'll, wake him up. Let's see. I'm not having luck with anything else.
here's my press card.
La liberté. Madame, you are not the person that I took you to be. You must accept my deepest, my most profound apologies.
Well, of course I accept. But why?
La liberté.
Yeah, why is...
The great
Ah,
journal of freedom. At the height of the battle.
this guy loves
as
the
tear
press.
gas blew and the blood
Specifically her
flowed.
paper.
It was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your humble servant.
Okay. Well,
Monsieur,
Madame,
could we have a little chat?
anytime, madame.
oh, good.
Did you see anything happen at the gallery earlier?
I saw you running after a pizza delivery guy. Somebody said he killed someone.
That's true. He stole a painting and shot the gallery owner.
How close we are to death, and yet how far from ever comprehending it.
Well, right now I need to get back inside and figure out what happened.
I applaud you, madame. To seek the truth is a worthy ambition.
Okay.
As a journalist, that is my duty.
That's what I
How
want to
about
do.
some coffee?
For you,
Let's
madame,
order a coffee.
of course. There is only one coffee that I can serve you. Black, strong, and in a tiny cup. One moment.
Way to live up to the stereotype.
Here is your coffee, madame.
Thank you,
Ah, excuse
monsieur.
me. Thirsty. Hello, new viewers.
The coffee was hot and strong.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Let's Oh, I didn't. Oh, what the hell? I thought he gave me the coffee.
Monsieur,
Madame,
could we have a little chat?
Oh, I thought he already gave me
Anytime,
the
madame.
coffee. Why is he being so annoying right now? Alright, let's
Would you make me a coffee to go?
For a fellow revolutionary? Of course, madame. One moment.
Okay. So that was my mistake.
Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur.
I needed to get it in a to-go cup. Alright. Let's go and see. Inventory, coffee. Let's go back here and give it to the sergeant. See if this influences his
Sergeant Mu,
incident.
I brought you a coffee.
Coffee? Fantastic. Just what I need. But wait. I must not. My little problem.
I'm sure one little cup of coffee won't hurt.
I'm tempted, madame, but I cannot risk it. I am sorry.
So, this incident, it involved you, some coffee, and your little problem?
What is his
It is
problem?
a tale of woe, madame.
I'm all ears, Sergeant.
Well, since you seem quite understanding, I shall elaborate.
Please do.
I was in charge of canine security for the president himself. One day, en vacances, he went for a private discussion with a lady minister. I stayed alone with his dog, but I had drunk a coffee to stay awake, and nature came to
Oh.
So I tied the dog to a tree and went for a secret pee-pee. When I came back, the dog was having a liaison dangereuse with the lady minister's terrier.
But how did they find out?
Well, 2 months later, the president's Labrador gave birth to 6 beautiful mongrels. And I was busted to sergeant just after the president's divorce came through.
You are a victim of a great injustice, Sergeant.
You think so?
But of course. You knew you must not fall asleep at your post. You were guarding the president himself.
Well, the president's dog.
Ah, it was the same thing.
Yes, I suppose.
And by drinking that coffee, you made the ultimate sacrifice for our glorious republic. Your career.
Now you put it like that?
And now France
This
is
guy's
pulling
getting
you
suckered.
again. She is saying, "Drink, Sergeant Mu, drink."
She is?
She is. Drink or fall asleep at your post. Which is it to be?
I suppose it is drink?
Bravo, Sergeant.
Let's see what's gonna happen. Oh, you know what's gonna happen.
Oh dear. Excuse me, madame. I must use the petit gendarme's room. It has gone straight through me. Could you watch the gallery door for me?
Oh, you can count on me, Sergeant. I distracted Mu. It was now or never.
An achievement.
How did you get past Sergeant Mu? Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question you later.
Nico, am I glad to see you. I tried to phone you but couldn't get an answer.
I managed to grab a couple of photos, but the guy got away.
Poor Henri is dead.
I know. Why kill him?
I've been trying to find out. Turns out the alarm was tampered with. It looks to me like an inside job.
So, no ordinary robbery?
And no ordinary painting. The priest claims that La Malediccio is evil. I need to get into the office and see what the CCTV has to offer.
So, what's the problem?
The inspector's watching me like a hawk. I'll never get in without some sort of distraction.
Alright, so what's our distraction? Let's say... What do we have here?
The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor.
Ew. Oh, man, what is...
No
Oh.
way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands.
Maybe?
I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. How about that for a distraction? I wondered whether it would be enough.
Well, let's talk to the man, huh?
Inspector Navet, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it.
This guy likes the blood. Very incompetent.
Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Very incompetent.
Okay, Georges, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long.
At last, Stobart.
Sorry, Mr. Rickenbacker. I've been busy.
Yeah, I damn well hope so. I'm watching the news.
Oh, anything interesting?
Yeah, someone stole a painting.
Oh, really?
And it was one you insured. What's going on?
Ah, yes. Well, the guy was armed, sir.
So?
You think I should have thrown myself in front of the thief, wrestled him to the ground, got myself shot?
Sure would have made me feel better. Anyway,
Apparently
find
my
that
boss
painting
doesn't
or
like
give
me.
me a good reason not to pay out. Please tell me that you have some leads.
I'm working on it.
Alright, so what do we got?
The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day.
Okay, so... birthday?
It was hard to tell if the lava lamp was retro or just plain old.
Desk. What do we got here?
I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling I wasn't going to need it.
Okay.
I didn't feel the need to take Henri's eraser.
Don't need his eraser, huh?
The lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it. The pen could have been useful. Then again, it might have leaked all over my pocket. I didn't need a business card. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins.
Uh-huh.
There was nothing else in the drawer. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. Huh. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form.
Okay, well, that helps us. Let's look at the CCD.
The CCTV system was ancient.
Oops,
It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording.
Well, you know what they say. Try birthdays. Oh.
Bingo.
Hey,
I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. Was Henri studying that picture, or did he look worried? There was definitely more to this robbery than I first thought. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture.
Huh. Alright.
Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. It seemed that whenever Nico stepped back into my life, so did trouble. The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake eating its own tail.
Oh, nothing really in this one then, I guess. And me.
There I was, looking at the exhibition.
Alright, well that doesn't tell me anything. Alright, next frame.
A good view of La Malédiction. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it.
Nothing
the
there.
Killer caught in the act.
Ah!
There was nothing really distinctive about him. The CCTV had caught the killer in the act of lifting La Malédiction from the wall. He knew exactly which painting to take.
Nothing else changed in that frame.
The moment it all went horribly wrong.
Okay. What do we got here?
Why hadn't Henri backed down when the thief pulled the gun? If that was me, I'd have done whatever the guy wanted.
Yeah, well,
there was some writing on the front
right.
of his helmet, but I couldn't quite make it out. The writing was just a blur. The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake eating its own tail.
What else
The
we
alarm
got?
should have sounded when the killer took the painting, but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane, or even Henri himself. Or perhaps even Vera Security, who'd installed the system.
Interesting. Well, I don't think anything else is gonna...
The killer making his getaway.
Ah!
A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful.
Waterloo Motors.
The painting was gone. The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting.
Nothing there.
There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious. That was me fiddling with the alarm.
Okay.
The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. Not my best angle. That was the last shot. I probably learned everything I could from the CCTV.
Alright, well.
The street was quiet.
Okay. What about the statue?
The statue was jaunty. Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. It was a statue of Henri bearing almost everything. A strategically placed fig leaf protected his modesty. The fig leaf had a small hinge on it. It looked like it could be lifted.
Okay.
Thankfully, there was no one around to see me do this. Very interesting. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office.
Alright, so we got a key. Let's see, anything else? Sofa.
The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years.
Some empty
It looked like Henri had
bottles.
saved the best booze for the back room.
Let's say we already looked at the desk.
In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company, demanding immediate payment. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety of ladies' fashion stores. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement of Paris. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business. But now I knew where he lived.
Okay, well. We have an address. That's something.
Monsieur,
Let me see.
sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
Okay.
I'm just looking
I
for
can
the name
tell.
of the caterer. That cheese was to die for.
To die for? To kill for. I put it to you, monsieur. Monsieur
Stobart. George Stobart.
I put it to you that you came here in search of cheese and killed the owner in a
What?
fromage-induced frenzy.
Well, no. I'm from Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Time will tell, monsieur.
Truth will out, Inspector.
Who dares wins, Monsieur Stobart.
He who laughs last laughs loudest, Inspector Nave. The guy was seriously nuts.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Of course. But I do need to ask you a few questions.
D'accord. But remember, anything you say can be used against you, Monsieur Stobart.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Do you know
let's
anything
talk to
about a
him
company
that.
called Vera Security?
No,
Makes sense.
I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation.
It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, huh? Pal? Monsieur, you are American.
What a dick.
California born and bred.
Of course.
Go California.
I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur.
Oh, man.
No? Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies, firing your gun.
Interesting.
Look at
idea,
that. My
Inspector,
man
but
representing California,
not really
though.
my style.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are my prime suspect. You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
Why would we be the main suspect, dude?
I had some valuable leads. But before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
Ay, ay, ay.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobart. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away, sir.
Why didn't...
Two
there
copies,
wasn't much
please.
interaction with the, priest.
Nice work in
That's
there,
kind
Nico.
of surprising.
Whatever you did, it worked.
Would have expected we
I
would
just
have had to
made a
ask him a
tiny
few more
distraction,
questions,
And
but
Navet bought it.
I couldn't
whatever.
have it buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Well,
Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La Maledictio.
Exactly. And I aim to find out who
yeah.
did it. The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. Well, the priest thinks La Maledictio is evil.
Oops, sorry.
Josh, he's
Didn't mean to
just
hit the mic
crazy.
again. I have a real bad
Yeah,
problem with
you're
that.
probably right. But there's something strange going on. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Josh,
Yeah?
it's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life.
Well, we've got Henry's apartment or the security place. Let's go to the security place first. Actually, that's probably where we're going to be closing ourselves off today because it's getting late.
No wonder I
And I have some dental issues that have me on some painkillers right now, so if I've sounded a little less than enthusiastic, or not enthusiastic, just low energy today, that's part of the reason. Root canals do not come without pain, so anyways, I hope you have enjoyed save the game here real quick. I hope you enjoyed what we've played through of Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse so far. As you can see, it's traditional point and click adventure game. Find puzzle pieces, or find items, use them in an appropriate manner, progress the story forward. It's not... The puzzles aren't as sophisticated as previous ones, I will say that much. You know, obviously this was a game that was kickstarted. It was actually sold, I believe, in 2 parts on the PC. When I reviewed it on the PC, we only actually had part 1 to review at the time. They were still developing part 2. The Xbox One, and I believe it's on PS4 too, consolidates them all into one complete adventure game, kind of like how Broken Age was broken up into 2 parts on the on the PC, but when it came to PS4, it was one complete adventure game. But like I said, it's a little simple, but I've always liked the characters. I've always liked Nico and George have always been good characters. They have interesting dialogue. As you can see, some of the supporting cast a little flat, a little maybe stereotypical of certain things that we've seen in movies and TV shows. But overall, it's a good adventure game. It's takes interesting concepts from the real world and kind of repurposes it in its own reality, like I said at the beginning. So anyways, but I appreciate you all that have watched tonight. I thank you for sticking with my somewhat suspect internet connection. Like I said, I'm working on it. I hope that soon AT&T is supposed to be in the process of upgrading here, so hopefully that'll improve my outbound and get my streaming a little more stable on the outbound. I've tried lowering the bit rates and whatnot to make it at least somewhat passable. Anyways, you can watch this and all of our other videos. This is going to be posted on my video channel because we're doing some updates on the GGS channel, but it'll be posted at ggsgamer.com. Make sure to go there, read the news, reviews, all that kind of stuff. I'm actually going to be starting on my Forza review this week. Hope to have it finished by the weekend, maybe the beginning of next week. No, it's a little behind schedule, but I like to give those games the full breadth and kind of get deep into the career before I put up a review and test the online and whatnot with it as well. And so again, I appreciate you watching. Broken Sword, it's a 1-hour tour, and we will see you soon. I actually have another one I'm going to be doing maybe tomorrow night for I know the game's been out for a little bit, but for Blues and Bullets, and I'm also looking to put one together for Zombie on Xbox One as well, so keep an eye out for all of those. Until next time though, have a good evening, and we will see you soon.